Hey, we're at the Caddisfly and Jay Nicholas and Chris Daughters, and we're gonna tie an awesome, it's a winter steelhead fly, it's a Chinook salmon fly, it's it's big water summer steelhead fly, using some of the Enrico EP brush materials. This is a Tarantula brush. It's a bright pink, and we're going to use this as our butt section. And don't try to, this has got a steel wire in it. Don't try to use your regular scissors. These are Dr. Slick barb crimpers. It's been a while since I've done this. I'm going to have to get back in the swing of things. There's your butt. Oh, by the way, we put on one of these Pro Tube bullet weights. This is a Pro Tube nano tube, which is new, and I'm pretty excited with them. Of course, it doesn't take me too much to get excited about new stuff. What's different about it? It has got tungsten impregnated in it, so it comes close to mimicking the sink rate, the density, the water penetration of a shanked hook. So you don't need to rely entirely on the weight to get your water, your depth penetration. Using a Lagerton mini flat braid, I like that, and over it I'm putting a Lagerton medium oval. Fish aren't going to really see that medium oval, but what it's going to do, it makes us happy as fly tiers to make our flies a little bit more complicated, and at the same time it adds durability to that body. So here's an EP Foxy brush. You do not need very much of this. I'm going to put roughly one turn on. Now remember, you know, there are times when I really enjoy spinning my zonker strips or Arctic Firk foxtails. Arctic Firks? Arctic foxtails. But this EP Foxy brush is really easy to use. It's tricky. It's not too tricky. It's thicker down at the base than it is out at the tips. And that, for tube flies, is really nice because it adds some of that center of the fly bulk that keeps those fibers out. So if we want a fly to have a nice profile, I'm going to put on, whoa, guess what? We make mistakes here. This is authentic fly tying. We're going to put on a black wing. This is a marbled fox. Now the marbled fox, like all of the fox furs, are nicely compressible, so that will stay right where it is. But I'm going to put a little dab of cement there just for fun, and I'm going to use some lateral scale. Chris, is this I use this stuff because I see it and I like it and I fish it. Is this a Flashaboo product?
Yeah, it is. It's a crimped Flashaboo.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It's very nice. And I just use 2 strands. Some people like to tie these as cheeks on either side. I like to put it straight on top and leave it go a little bit longer than the wing. Now I'm going to put on a pink Foxy brush, which I started to do before. Now you notice the Pro nano tubes, they're not only heavier, they have some density to them, they are also longer. So I would not have been able to tie this fly and have it as long as this is if I was using the standard micro tube. So if I want a more compact fly, I use the micro tube. If I want a longer fly, I stretched it out. I didn't put materials all the way through the center. I could have, but that would just simply make this more difficult to penetrate. And again, I just put on one turn of that Foxy brush. Now I'm going to tie a knot here. Nice little whip finish. Oh, and pardon me, I should have mentioned, but you don't always think about these things. So you'd think a guy would know how to tie a whip finish after all these years. Doesn't always work though. So when I tied that Foxy brush, I cut it with about 1/8 of an inch, a little bit less, of tag end, and then I just pushed it back with my finger, and that allows this, that'll stay right put, it's not going anywhere. Now I'm going to choose a cone, and this is one of the new, they're metallic, they're brass. It's a Pro Sonic cone. It's got little holes in it. I like these brass ones really well. They have an assortment of really cool colors, which we will feature later. Bruce and Tony are a little bit better at cutting their tubes short. I do mine a little bit longer, and then I use my humor tube fly tool to make sure that hole is open.
But a bodkin.
A bodkin works just fine. Now I'm going to put a chartreuse hook guard on this fly. I'm going to show you what it looks like with a Gamakatsu glow bug hook. There are many different good tube fly hooks, but this is with the Gamakatsu hook. So here you have, and Chris says, what's this called? It says it's an FT winter steelhead killer. That's Foxy tube winter steelhead. There you go.